These aren't your cute little romantic comedies with misunderstandings and happy endings. These are the bloodstained stories where flowers wilt, hearts bleed, and Cupid shows up with a knife. And now we're cutting them open. Because Valentine's Day, in the wrong hands, becomes a love letter written in blood. It begins where light doesn't reach, deep underground. The tunnels are tight, the air is thick, and the silence is broken only by the metal groans of old machinery. You can feel the weight of the earth pressing down. This isn't just mine, it's a grave waiting to be filled. The town is called Valentine Bluffs. Sounds cute, right? But the irony clings like coal dust. A place named after love, buried in tragedy. Years ago, an explosion rocked the mine. Safety was ignored so the town could throw a Valentine's Day dance. They chose balloons over breathing men. That choice cost lives. Several miners were trapped. Time passed. Oxygen ran out. They died choking, crushed in the dark. But one man made it out. Harry Warden. He didn't walk. He crawled through death. When they found him, he wasn't human anymore. He was covered in blood, half mad, and clutching a heart that didn't beat. Now every Valentine's Day, something moves in the shadows, a gas mask, a pickaxe, breathing like a beast. He doesn't speak, he doesn't stalk, he strikes. No poetry, no grace. This film is grimy, greasy. It doesn't wink at you. It shoves your face into the furnace and dares you to breathe. Every kill is brutal, the kind that echoes in your ears. A dryer filled with cooked flesh, a heart in a candy box. This isn't slasher fun, it's punishment. The town tries to forget, but Harry doesn't. They cancel the Valentine's Day dance, thinking tradition is what calls him back. But tradition is just an excuse. Death doesn't need permission. And this killer, he never stopped digging. They unearthed the legend and rebuilt it with sharper steel. Same town, same mine. But this time the blood doesn't just drip. It flies at your face. This isn't a lazy remake. It's a resurrection. And it knows exactly what it's digging up. The rust, the dirt, the guilt, all of it. It doesn't try to outsmart the original. It tries to stab harder, scream louder, and hit lower. It trades nostalgia for carnage and doesn't apologize for it. Tom returns to Valentine Bluffs after years away. But time doesn't heal minds. It just buries secrets deeper. Something's off in his eyes, like he left one kind of darkness and walked straight into another. People whisper. They remember the cave-in, the bodies, Harry Warden. Some say the mine broke Tom. Others say he never really came back at all. But whether it's trauma or something worse, the town's not safe. Not when hearts start going missing. The kills, they're brutal, close range, practical. This isn't sleek horror, it's a sledgehammer. Pickaxes rip jaws clean off. Hearts are carved out like demented valentines. Eyeballs fly like berries into the audience. Every death hits with a purpose, to make you wince. And that 3D, it doesn't feel like a gimmick, it feels like a dare. This isn't about jump scares, it's about impact. Blunt, personal, and soaked in coal dust. In the end, maybe it's still Harry Warden's story, or maybe it never was. Maybe the real horror isn't who's behind the mask. Maybe it's how far someone will go to bury what they did, and who they had to become to keep it hidden. Middle school, high school. You remember, everyone does. The cheap plastic chairs, the smell of gym sweat, the sound of lockers slamming shut, followed by whispers that hit harder than fists. It's where popularity crowned the cruel and silence swallowed the awkward. Jeremy Melton was that kid. Too quiet, too pale, too weird. He stuttered, he stared too long, and worst of all, he tried. At a junior high dance, Jeremy asked 5 girls to dance. Each one rejected him, publicly, loudly. One even screamed, claiming he attacked her. The crowd turned on him like vultures. They beat him, spit on him, laughed. Then I forgot. But Jeremy didn't forget. 10 years later, those girls are grown. Adults now, or at least pretending to be. Shelley's in med school. Paige is rich and rude. Lily's an artist. Kate works hard. Dorothy's still desperate to fit in. They live in apartments with locks. They drink wine. They swipe through men like apps. But somewhere in the background, something is moving, something patient. Valentine's Day comes, roses, cards, chocolate, and death. One by one, they start receiving twisted valentines, cryptic notes signed by JM boxes of candy with maggots inside, dead birds wrapped in tissue paper, and then it escalates. A masked figure appears, smooth white porcelain Cupid mask, bow lips frozen in a gentle, dead-eyed smile. A vision of love perverted. The mask doesn't blink. The eyes behind it do. The deaths aren't sloppy. They're clean, cruel, and staged. A woman is stabbed in a morgue, her blood draining into cold silver pans. Another is shot with a crossbow in the middle of a rave, the strobe lights flashing like a heartbeat skipping. The killer doesn't rant, doesn't gloat. He just finishes what the school started. The film moves slow, on purpose. Every hallway is too quiet. Every corner feels too wide. Every moment lingers like a memory you can't scrub out. It's not trying to shock you with jump scares. It's trying to suffocate you with regret. The killer isn't a monster. He's a memory with a knife. A rejection that never healed. Jeremy Melton didn't die that night. He evolved, and he brought Valentine's Day with him. You know the story. Everyone does. Teenagers in a car, fog on the windows, a radio playing soft static, then a noise outside, a hook scraping metal, a dead boyfriend hanging upside down, a girl screaming. It's Urban Legend 101, and in Lover's Lane, it bleeds into reality. It's Valentine's Day in a no-name town with nothing going for it, but an old stretch of road where teenagers go to make out. They call it Lover's Lane, but after tonight, they won't. Years ago, a man went crazy. He murdered people with a meat hook, classic slasher setup. They said it was jealousy or heartbreak or just madness. He was locked away, forgotten, until he escaped. Now he's back, and he hasn't changed. He's not clever. He's not demonic. Just a man with a scarred face, a butcher's apron, and a rusted hook replacing the hand they had to cut off to stop him. He's angry, he's in pain, and he's hunting teenagers again. The cast is textbook: the cheerleader, the jock, the nerd, the good girl, the rebel. They laugh, drink, kiss, sneak off into the dark. You know what happens next, and that's the point. When the killer strikes, it's not stylish. It's mean, sudden, a hook through the neck, a slash across the belly, a whisper of steel before the body drops. The film doesn't pretend to be smart, it just wants to kill. The sets are dark, the budget is low, the acting is what you'd expect, but that roughness makes it feel raw. It's not pretending to be more than it is. You won't remember the character names, doesn't matter. What you will remember is the hook, how it looks under moonlight, how fast it tears through denim and skin, how nobody makes it out of Lover's Lane untouched. Also known as X-ray, doesn't matter what you call it, this one cuts deep. It opens with a flashback. A young boy has a crush on a girl. He gives her a Valentine. She laughs at him. Cruel laughter, the kind that burns into your brain and stays there. Later that day, she opens a closet and finds her friend's body, murdered with a kitchen knife. The boy, gone, vanished like he never existed. Years pass. That girl is now a woman, Susan. She's got a normal life. No idea that the ghost of that Valentine's Day still lingers in someone's head. It's Valentine's Day again. She checks into the hospital for some routine test results. A simple errand, in and out. But the moment she steps inside, things feel off. The lighting, the sounds, the way people look at her. Too long, too strange. Her file disappears. The staff grows cold. Doctors ask her questions that don't make sense. Nurses whisper behind curtains. Nobody explains anything. And through it all, she starts to feel watched. Somebody is following her. But this isn't some masked stalker chasing her through the halls. It's slower, more methodical. The killer walks the halls like he belongs there. He wears what they all wear, a lab coat, surgical gloves, a mask. He doesn't chase. He waits, just waits for the right moment. And when he moves fast, quiet. 1 second you're alive. The next you're nothing but a cold slab on a gurney. A nurse is strangled with IV tubing. A doctor takes a bone saw to the neck. The deaths are clean, brutal, clinical. No music, no witty one-liners. Just steel meeting flesh. The hospital turns into a nightmare. Endless white corridors, flickering fluorescent lights. Every beep from a monitor sounds like a warning. Every shadow feels like it's breathing, and Susan, she's trapped. The phones are dead. Security is missing. No one believes her. She runs from floor to floor, pounding on locked doors, stepping over blood trails no one will clean. The place meant to save her becomes a tomb. What makes this movie hit harder is how real it feels. Hospitals are supposed to be safe, sterile, full of life-saving equipment and trained professionals. But Hospital Massacre flips that. Here, the tools heal no one. The scalpels aren't for surgery, they are for punishment. You can smell the bleach in every frame. You can feel the cold tile under your feet. It's cheap 80s horror at its most effective, grimy, grim, and soaked in red. And when Susan finally sees who's behind the mask, it's not a surprise. It's a reminder, a ghost of the past she laughed at. Because some Valentines you don't get to forget. Valentine's Day in Los Angeles, a city lit up in neon and dripping in fake romance. But this year, love has a new face, and it's carved into a mask of flesh, grinning wide with blood-soaked charm. They call him Heart Eyes, not because he's sweet, but because he gouges out your eyes and replaces them with candy hearts. He doesn't kill like other slashers. He creates. Every victim becomes a display, a performance. Roses jammed into rib cages, melted chocolates poured over torsos, corpses dressed like prom dates frozen in final poses of affection. He's not murdering, he's curating. Victims aren't random. He targets the beautiful, the popular, the curated perfectionists of modern love. Influencers, models, plastic perfection, people who sell desire online, and Heart Eyes tears them apart in real life. He's not hiding. He wants to be seen. Crime scenes go viral, hashtags trend, and with every kill, the city sinks deeper into paranoia. Romance becomes a risk. Valentine's dinners end early. Shops pull down heart-shaped decorations. There's no final girl chasing the truth here. No boyfriend coming to the rescue. This is chaos without rules. Heart Eyes leaves messages too. Notes written in blood. Be mine, scratched into mirrors. Love you to death, carved into walls. He plays with the cliches and turns them into horror. The film itself is a candy-coated nightmare. bright colors, flashing lights, love songs echoing in the background as limbs are torn apart. It's stylish but not empty, vicious but not mindless. Every frame screams modern slasher with a message. Your image won't save you, your followers won't protect you, and sometimes the ones who watch you the most are the ones planning your end. Hard Eyes doesn't just kill, he reminds you that love can rot, that beauty fades, that even in the city of angels, monsters can smile. And when the final scene rolls, there's no happy ending. Just another bouquet of organs lit by pink neon, another story left unfinished. Because on this Valentine's Day, love isn't blind, it's deranged. Valentine's Day in horror isn't about love, it's about blood. Which Valentine's Day film is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more horror content if you dare.